great pleasure in making this announcement. To each lady attending this theater each week, you'll receive absolutely free a fascinating 12-piece kitchen cutlery set, one piece each time. It is really interesting and amazing to know how you can prepare your meals in an appetizing and pleasing manner. There's an old saying, and a true one, that what is pleasing to the eye is bound to be pleasing to the appetite. I'm going to demonstrate this set to you, and I want you to watch it very closely. The first cutter that I'm going to show you, now this first one is known as the Parisian cutter. Wind it through the potato like a corkscrew. When the cutter appears on the opposite side, pull the cutter out. Place the handle in the center and twist it out. This is what they call a French curl. When you fry these, they come out like donuts, nice and brown. Serve them with your steaks or pot roast them. Unwind it, there's 2 curls out of the 1 potato. Tomorrow morning for breakfast, wind a little strip of bacon around the potato and serve them with bacon and eggs. They're delicious. Different colored vegetables, wind them together and you get the 2 colors. Here's a little trick cut. Split the curl halfway through the center. If you're making a shrimp salad and you happen to run short of shrimp, mix these in with the regular shrimp. Upon my word, you couldn't tell the difference until you start to eat them. Now the rest of the potato, you stuff it. We'll call this a little chicken. We'll call this here some hamburger. You might have a little meat that's been laying in the ice box for a few days. Chop the meat up fine, season it highly, stuff it into the center of the potato and bake them with the skins on. When they're done, cut them in 2. Serve them on the half shell just like that. Serve them in slices when company calls. The more company you have, the thinner you cut the slices. If your mother-in-law calls, give her a beak piece like that. Now the second tool in the set is known as the garnishing knife. Everything you cut with this must come out fancy. Watch this, please. You cut down, you turn the potato, and then you cut through the edge. First one way and then the other. Sweet potatoes cut like this, drop them into a little batter of pancake flour and fry them. When they're golden brown, sprinkle molasses on them. Serve them with strips of bacon for breakfast. Why, they're delicious. Here's beets, you pickle them, and carrots, you steam or cream them. In making the original French fried potato, cut them in thick slices. Put them one on top of each other. Cross-cut the slices, and you'll never eat a French fry any other way. The potatoes cut like this will not absorb the fat because they're garnished around. Pineapples cut for your pineapple and cheese salad, cut them the same way. Here is one, and this is a dandy. Cuts any thickness or any size. Open it for a thick slice, close to the top for a thin slice. Saratoga chips, you can make them for 3 or 4 pennies a pound. Just pull the blade towards you like this. If you want the slices thicker than this, open the blade, there's a thick slice. Shoestrings for your Friday fish dinner, cut them down like this. Chop them up for your vegetable soup. What this knife is really intended for is for cutting the cabbage. You know the old-fashioned board, how you rip and tear, sometimes nipping the ends off your fingers. Lay it flat and pull it lightly towards you over the cabbage. The weight of the knife across the cabbage is all that's necessary. Why, ladies, when you get slaw cut as fine as this, you'll certainly appreciate eating it. The crowning feature of the set is the cutter that I'm going to show you now. This is known as the Champeen vegetable mincing knife and noodle cutter. Now, when you want to make some real fine noodles at home, you roll the dough out like this. Dip this into a little flour so it doesn't stick to the dough, and as you roll it over the dough, that will cut the noodles in long strips, 10 at a time. Did you ever try to chop up a little nuts for cake? Why, I've seen ladies chop nuts and the nuts land up on the ceiling. Sometimes you chop the ends off your fingers when you want to chop up a little nuts for cake, cooked meat, clams for chowder, soup greens to throw into your soup. Making a little pepper or chicken hash is just a few strokes rolling it up and down. Why, here is without a doubt the meanest thing in the world to cut parsley. Put that in a grinder, you really grind it too fine. This machine, instead of crushing the parsley, cuts it quick, clean, and dry, leaving every bit of the juice and every bit of the flavor. Now, to clean this machine, you press the button. Rinse it out in a little water. When you're through using it, hang it up and let it dry. Here's one here that every lady should have in her home, known as the Parisian scoop. You lay it flat, once to the right, once to the left. When you scoop them out, you'll get a perfect round little ball. You can pot roast these, cut them out of cheese or cut them out of butter. When you're serving a fruit cocktail in the summertime, take your fresh cantaloupe, scoop them out like this, mix them with apples, pears, and watermelons, makes a delicious fruit cocktail served with a little cracked ice like you see here. But here is a tool, ladies, if you ever do get it, you'll thank the day you've seen this demonstration. When you press, it locks. It's like a pair of human hands. Reach in the oven and take the biscuits out of the oven. Ever take the hot potatoes out of the oven and burn yourself on the elbow? A roast chicken out of the oven, a piece of meat out of the pot, spinach, asparagus out of the water. Why, around canning season, when you're preserving the fruits, to take the hot fruit jars out of the water like that, that machine is worth dollars to you. And here's another one that I really know you'll enjoy having in your kitchen, known as the safety grater. No doubt you're familiar with the old-fashioned grater. I've seen ladies take a grater and rip the knuckles off. When you want to grate up potatoes for delicious potato pancakes, this has a smooth, flat edge, impossible to cut yourself. Just like you were washing clothes, you rub it up and down, and you really grate your vegetables real fine, retaining all the flavors and all the juices. Breadcrumbs for when you're serving veal cutlets or anything like that. You want a little breadcrumbs to fry your fish in? Why, there's the greatest proposition in the world. Use that for coconut, cheese, or horseradish. When you're through with it, just hit it down like that. That knocks all the food out. Rinse it out in a little water and hang it up and let it dry. Now, here is a stone made of carborundum and sapphire quartz, which is made purposely to keep these knives sharp. When they get dull, a few strokes over the edge like this, and you can put a keen cutting edge on it. If you have a dull knife or a dull pair of scissors, an old sickle or a scythe, a lawnmower, cleaver, an axe, there's a tool that will really put an edge on the knife, so the knife will really cut for you. I just want to give you an idea of how sharp that knife really is when you sharpen it with that stone. Ladies, I've seen some of you try to open up cans. Now, there's a can of Campbell's baked beans. I've seen ladies open up a can and you poke a hole in it, go around the top, hippity-hop, and your finger slips. Let me show you a real proposition. Look, lay it on the can, lift up the safety, and turn the key. That locks itself on the can. No harder than you were winding up your watch. Wind up the key and that'll cut the top off of the can slick and smooth. Notice how the end raises itself up in the air so you can lift the lid off, giving you a clean, smooth edge. Now, that can be used for sardine cans, square cans, or round cans, exactly the same way. Now, this tool here, my dear friends, needs no introduction. This will save you on an average of $20 to $30 every year you use it as a peeling knife. Here's a grater for cheese, coconut, or horseradish, a fish scaler for scaling your fish, and when you're coring your apple, it's just a slight twist of the wrist, and there's the apple core. There's one more tool that I want you to see, and I want you to watch this one very closely. Many a times when you're baking a pie, you have a pudding in the oven. I've seen ladies wrap a towel around your hand, and many a times you burn your fingers. Hook this onto the pot like this and lift the hot pots off the top of the stove. You've got a pie pan in the oven? Catch a hold of the pie pan like this. Why, you couldn't get it off with a team of horses. This will positively lift 100 pounds. There's a pail of water weighs 50 or 60 pounds. That's the way you pick it up. But there's one more tool. I'll be all through and I'll be finished. Oh, now the next tool and the last one is what they call the Sarah Bernhardt cutter. This was invented by the head chef of the Imperial Hotel in the city of Berlin, Germany. You place the screw into the center of the vegetable. Twist the vegetable until the threads catch a hold, then you wind this up. You keep winding until you utilize the whole potato. The faster you turn, the quicker the slices. Why, ladies, here's a machine for slicing onions. The first onion that you slice with this cutter, you'll bless the day you've got a hold of it. Every slice cut exactly the same thickness. Every slice cut the same size. In making what they call a rosette, pull the vegetable out like this. Pin the ends together with a toothpick. Drop that potato into the hot fat and fry it. That will come out like a donut, golden brown. If you're serving a nice fish dinner, a little parsley goes in the center with the fish all around it. Makes a very appetizing dish. Did you ever try to slice onions with a knife? You know how you get one thick slice and one thin slice? Run the knife through the center. That will separate each slice individual. Almost like magic, there is every slice cut exactly the same thickness and the same size. Wouldn't you like to have a set like this in your kitchen? Why, of course you would. Now don't forget, attend this theater every week and receive this 12-piece fascinating... Ladies and gentlemen, the management of this theater takes great pleasure in making this announcement. To each lady attending this theater each week, will receive absolutely free a fascinating 12-piece kitchen cutlery set, one piece each time. It is really interesting and amazing to know how you can prepare your meals in an appetizing and pleasing manner. There's an old saying, and a true one, that what is pleasing to the eye is bound to be pleasing to the appetite. I'm going to demonstrate this set to you, and I want you to watch it very closely. The first cutter that I'm going to show you, now this first one is known as the Parisian cutter. Wind it through the potato like a corkscrew. When the cutter appears on the opposite side...
Hi there, how we doing this morning? Give me 1 second here, still setting things up here. Copy, close this, go over here. I can get my coffee started here. So I'm sort of combining both my normal coffee chat morning here and gonna do a little screen printing today, which I am very much an amateur at screen printing. This is not a professional operation here by any means. And I'm going to do some screen printing of some shirts doing my logo that I do use. We have the knives, the knife handle, which I have to pull the knife handle off still, and the hat, which I need to pull the hat away from there still. And so I'm doing only small stuff. I'm using a hand heat gun. I'm not going to be doing full t-shirts or anything along that line. This is not a setup for doing any sort of large-scale printing, and it takes a bunch of extra fuss work on my part to make it work because I don't wish to dedicate the space to having a proper. They have proper stands and setups and commercial and homemade, homebrew screen printing setups where everything is all properly aligned. And that just is not what I'm going to dedicate the space for. I have the room for a stack of towels and a couple of these guys, and you'll see my frame set up here when I pull it out here a little bit. I'm waiting to get towels and stuff down so that we have everything protected before I bring that over here, along with all the paint. Till I get my coffee going. So, let's see, is there anyone out there that I'm ignoring? I haven't even been looking to see if there's anyone out there in the world. Nope. So for anyone new, joining me, watching the VOD, any of that, the good jazz, I do dinner here normally 3 nights a week on Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, 4:30 Pacific time. And so this is sort of normally my coffee and chat time, sort of discuss upcoming plans, but we're rolling in a little bit of screen printing in this week, which I hope to do about once a month, maybe twice a month. Not on a regular basis or with a regular schedule. So do I have enough coffee ground, or I have to grind coffee? Might have to grind coffee here. Oh, gonna have to grind coffee. Using a different coffee these days, and everything's getting changed up on me. Gonna have to buy more soon. That smells chocolatey. It's not very chocolatey coffee, but the smell of that coffee when sorry about that. Little blade grinders are not proper tool for the job here. I should probably get myself a good burr grinder again. They're good for grinding spices, though. I got another one here that I use for spices, too. There we go. Make sure our water's back up and boil. Weird. Weird, weird, weird. Oops, forgetting to pour water. So I'm thinking of doing a number of black t-shirts. I got a stack of black t-shirts, and I think I'm going to do a logo on the top corner here on those guys. And I've got 3 short sleeve collared tan shirts that I'm going to do on the sleeves. And the collared ones I'm going to use for on stream. And t-shirts, we'll see how they come out here. It's more of a testing thing. Maybe I'll give them away if we have some people who are interested. Although I still have several of the nicer hand towels still stashed away from before. This is one of the not nicer hand towels that the handle, knife handle's a little bit off on it, but do have some nicer examples of that are available for future giveaways too. Yeah. Sorry, need to get feedback from chat on ideas of things they would like to do. If you got ideas, for sure please put them in the Discord. In fact, while I'm getting that Discord up and running here, because I don't have it installed on this computer. Work. Cool. So that's in the Discord now too. So if any of you guys have suggestions for anything, you can put it in over there. Morning, Evangeline. How you doing today? Doing the last of my nasty American style coffee. Aw, what's going on? Take the scale out of the equation here. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm just sitting here relaxing, having a chill day. Gonna do a little screen printing here after I finish making my coffee. Gonna make plans for next week after for the dinner stream. So that's part of this plan here eventually too. And let's see, did I have anything saved up here? I think I had stuff saved up here from news and events. I don't know if any of it was actually like food or food news though. Nope. Just news that's already old at this point, as far as Formula One. That sounds good. I haven't had steak in quite a while. I don't do steak a lot. I don't do beef a lot. That's gonna probably change here at some point because, along with my buying large cuts of pork, I plan to eventually order large pieces of beef as well. Maybe not do halves of cows. I don't think I'm going to be going through that, but could maybe do a quarter. Just a hint of the hopefully still good stuff. Nice. It's been a while since I've done that too. I had the worst luck with New York strips when I was just getting started. My first job, I was cutting New Yorks for first job cutting New York State. And I would always cut myself getting the fat cap. Cut my finger down to the fingernail several times getting fat caps off of New Yorks, and I just haven't gone back to cutting steaks the same. It's sort of odd. It's almost that direction of cut that gets me more than anything else. It's that side downward cut when you're holding it. But I'm old. That's 2 decades ago. Okay. Ready to get going here. Oh. Yeah. Keep thinking that. Oh no, I was like I said, it was my first job. I had no There was no reason that I should have been carving that meat in that job. It was because no one else in the kitchen wanted to do it. They didn't want to be responsible. Oops. Oh, you're not looking at that camera anyways, but I just bumped the still camera pretty good there. So I I got a nice piece of marble here. Got that across all my burners. I got my cutting board there. And then I've got the towel on top of that. This is all to sort of dissipate the heat from that marble. This is where I'm going to use the hot gun with printing of things, but and I've sort of set up the whole idea is, and I will be using heats that are hot enough that if I leave them on there too long, they will burn the fabric. So it's not something that I... Oh yeah. Lifelong fan, can't stop now. Regardless of what Holland did to the team in the last decade. Not the he built it, but he let it flounder too. Be right back. And so here we have my impressive screen printing setup. Make sure you guys can actually see what we got going here. Not really. We have two clips up here that are just cheapo $10-15 clips that will hold these boards in place, in the same place. They're screwed into an old used cutting board that had enough nastiness permanently in it that I decided I didn't want to keep using it for food reasons. And then we have all of our inks, which screen printing, three of those are plastisol inks, which plastisol inks are sort of a newer form of ink. They're essentially PET plastic, so your plastic that everything on Earth is practically made out of these days, suspended in a solution, so that when I heat it up with the hot gun over there, it essentially just melts into the fabric. And the red is a water-based one, which cures in the same fashion, but is not plastic, and is older and a little bit is both older and the newer fashion one because it's more eco-friendly than the plastic, but it's more in the cleanup because the plastic ones, they basically can sit in the screen there, and you can do, if you're working and doing screen printing on a regular basis, you can do it and then come back to it, sort of a thing, and not worry about it drying out or something like that, where you do have to worry about that with the water-based ones. And additionally, you need to use special cleaners, which I have some hidden down underneath the sink here that help. It's essentially like, I think it smells exactly the same as like Goof Off or Dissolved It. It's some nasty stuff, but it gets the job done. Okay, we need, that's what this guy over here is for, so that we have protection going to the sink. We'll use the scale to hold that in place a little bit. Okay, white didn't always love. The sharks, I mean, They keep knocking on the door, and they never really quite made it there. And Red Wing fans always wanted to say they were choking. I'm not that big on. I just like hockey. Oh, so nobody. Get back. Need to grab a. I have a razor blade knife handy back by my office desk. Use that to peel away our. I think that way about a lot of the players, and in some ways, I think the industry is changing a lot. This is you still have dyed here from the old ink here, but I think that's going to still print fine. I hope. I can see through that. It doesn't really show well on the camera though. And we have the handle. So this time, hopefully, they're all lined up. Last time, I didn't line everything up properly. This time, I say that and they're not lined up properly. Fuck. This is on the wrong side. It's supposed to be on that side. These are both on the right side. That one's on the wrong side. Lovely. Let me go see if I have a backup of that. I don't think I do. I do not. Which means I think I'm going to try and print another one off here while I'm in the middle of the stream, but it's going to take me a couple minutes to get that done. I can still see chat back here even though you guys can't see me. Let's see. What is the heck of the name for this? apologize, guys. I'm not too with it this morning, apparently. I spent a heck of a lot of time trying to make sure that those screens were right. Well, we know they're not right 30 seconds into the show here. So that guy was supposed to be unlined on that corner, not on that corner. So I'm going to reprint this. I'm going to take the tape off of this and redo this right here on screen. But I got to spend a minute here to cut a new piece of vinyl out for that black piece. Actually, right now what I'm doing is cutting a sheet in half, because I have 12-inch by 12-inch sheets and I'm only doing a maximum of 6 inches for my design. Stick that sticky plastic thing for most people would probably call their cry cut or their plotter cutter. I have a cheapo one, no name brand. Okay, sounds like it's dying when it works. Let's see here. Open. And I need the hats. Hats. I need the hats. Need the knife back over here now. Okay, I got that printing now. Or cutting now. So, I guess you guys get to see how I set these up too now, at least partially. Figure out which one was the last layer to be put on here. Ooh, and let's hope that I have enough packing tape too. I was starting to run low on my roll. I will be working on some t-shirts and some collared t-shirts. The black t-shirts are going to be more of a practice and test session. We'll see if how they turn out. And the collared shirts I'm doing for myself for on stream. Which I'm not only gonna wear those shirts, I don't think, but we'll see. Maybe they'll be a hit, but I don't think I probably won't wear them all that often. Oops, sorry for bumping the camera there. This is part of that negative impact of screen printing. So that was good fun. Let's see here. Be back in a moment. My skin just dry, or feels almost like I cut myself there, but I didn't do anything to cut myself. Oh, I only wear an apron every stream. But, yeah, I haven't had the nerve to do that one yet. I've only got one of those aprons. I need to get a couple more of those aprons before I hit those up. I also want to get a little bit more screen printing under my belt here. I was saying earlier that, would like to do some giveaways with the stuff from this. Like, before I was just when Mixer was dying, I was trying to host my first giveaway of the hand towels, because this isn't one of the better printed hand towels. This is just, but I have some better ones. I took out the better ones that everything was properly aligned and all that good jazz. So I have a couple of these still set aside for potential giveaways. The shirts, I doubt they're a size that everyone's going to use. Everyone's got different sizes, so that's sort of, it'd have to be more of a I'll do a shirt for you thing, and you know, we'll get the size. I'm not going to be doing, I'm limited to about 6-inch designs here with my setup. So it's not like I'm going to be doing like full branded t-shirts or anything like that. It's going to be small logos and stuff like that. And so I did post in the Discord if anyone's interested in making suggestions. There is a suggestions channel. So start by putting masking tape. This is sort of the dirty new method here too for doing screen printing. The more old school proper way of doing screen printing is not using vinyl cutouts. It's using a, I don't know what the proper term for the compound is, but it's a UV sensitive paint essentially, where you cover it in this paint essentially in the dark. Many people doing it in the bathrooms in the dark, coating an entire screen. Then they take a like overhead projection slide, put it over the top, expose it to light on purpose so that the overhead projection, the negative, is blocking out the areas that you want light. The light then cures all the negative space, and you can then spray out the areas of that you want to paint, and then you can paint with it normally. That's how they normally do screen printing. This is the quick, cheap, and well, more expensive but easier method of just using vinyl and packing tape to just prevent the ink from growing anywhere else. I'm going to try and touch this as little as possible with my hands here so that it's as sticky as possible, so it keeps its shape as best as possible. Less worried about this side, I think. Oh, especially since I didn't tape this side. Good move, Jay. So we're just not worried about this side, actually. Oh, hey. Maybe you guys should enjoy a little music here that I've been playing this entire time I've had on the stream. So now, the blue Sharpie line here is a measured mark, and the tape actually, which you guys probably can't see on screen that I'm almost following exactly down this line here, is also measured. So I'm eyeballing it, but I'm eyeballing it against set points. Wish I had like a proper like pasta roller for that right there. Actually, this will work pretty well right now. Just doing this. There we go. So you see that's the side that's going to be down when we're doing the paint. I have tape on the sides, and the tape's going down around the edges here. That just helps with cleanup and keeps it off of the wood. Wood doesn't get dye, it doesn't look nasty after a while. Okay, so need to go back to packing tape now to secure everything in place. Packing tape doesn't have to be too pretty, just keeping it from spilling any ink through. And then want to definitely get all four sides of this plastic or the vinyl covered. I made that mistake last time of thinking that I could get away with just trusting this edge or that edge to be enough. Nope, gotta cover it over entirely or you will get ink seepage. I've only done this once. Still, and so I've learned so much just from doing this once. Tops and bottoms too. I'm actually even gonna do one here towards the bottom of the graphic so the graphic doesn't want to pull or tear or anything like that. Not too worried about any offset that the tape is going to do here because first off, we're dealing with fabric. It's going to be like sticking to the fabric, and you also want to leave this metal hinge here leaves me a good like 1/8 inch or so of gap between the shirt and that, so it's not 100% touching. It's more that the screen flexes down to touch, or the ink is thick enough that it touches just from pushing down. Again, at the bottom of the graphic that we actually want to worry about. Over the top of the one we don't care about. Okay. Does it not show me anything in that view? Toying with the computer for a second here. Apologies. Okay. So we got need to do the top edge here. Oops. Didn't quite get that one smooth. Oh well. We got the top covered, we got the bottom, we got the top covered, bottom covered, got the edges covered, got all that done. Okay, now let's go back and reveal our graphic. Doing our best to keep it stuck to the screen as best as possible and trying not to warp it, because even just the tape here will warp this vinyl. So we're tempted to try a thicker vinyl than this, but I'm not going to buy it extra just because, I mean, to try it extra. I've already got a decent amount of vinyl here. You can see how it's pulling up even though I taped all around there. So it's a little bit of a game to keep things nice and proper. That came up a little quicker than I expected. I'm also holding on to the hat and not the inner part as much, because the hat I can screw up, I can put knife marks in, I can force it to be there. The rest of it, not so much. This is a nice little, 50-minute detour. Anyone tuning in here a little bit later on to the stream, I was not planning on redoing this one screen, but apparently I didn't plan properly in the first place, so here we are. What the heck happened there? I lost part of the hat. Damn it. Starting over. Obviously need more coffee this morning. At least this way, I don't have to go back into a dark bathroom and figure all this out again. This way I can just peel it up and start over. Let me go get that other one printing again. Do we have any Formula One fans who watched that race yesterday, that ridiculous race of cars rusting? Yep, those are big. I'm guessing so, just the starting one. See something here. I'm just gonna use No, why didn't that fire? Didn't that fire? Why didn't you do that? Pull it back into the I guess I have to run Mix It Up bot natively on the computer. Because I've spent the last couple of days setting up welcomes for everyone that comes into chat, and they ain't working. And see, when I tape it properly, I don't have to worry about all that other nonsense. It just comes back off right. Okay. Back here again. See, that's what I was complaining about back there, why everything's got to be difficult. The page ripped down on the back end. Wish I had some green tape, some frog tape, some real non-stick green tape. I'm gonna have to invest in some of that if I keep doing this, because even masking tape is a little too sticky here for the vinyl. Speaking of that, let's see how bad my computer is struggling right now. You're still doing... We're doing okay. We're doing okay. I was running upwards of 80% CPU usage back when I was on Mixer, and I've just... Since then, I've focused on trying to remove as much as possible off of my old streaming PC and onto my more office desk PC. So like I got Streamlabs Chatbot handling everything as far as chat back there. I wanted to try and run Mix It Up Bot back there too, but apparently that doesn't like running off of the other computer. It wants to be here and in charge. Cheers. Oh. Nectar of the gods. I know many liquids have taken that term claim to fame, but I taped both hats this time. You noticed that. Trying to not make mistakes twice here. As he peels his third vinyl off for this print. learning sort of other tricks here too, like don't hold it at the point of things with the knife, because it tends to mar it more if you hold it by the points of, by the apex. You see, we've had practice screen 1, 2, and 3. We're on qualifying now. And hopefully if we have good enough qualifying, we won't even have to worry about the race. Ooh. Don't even need the knife for that guy. Nice. He is cooperating. Cooperating a little too much. Paper's tearing for some reason, sticking to the vinyl rather than the paper. Peel off already. Ugh. Having my fan blow at me here is not helping this situation. Feels nice though. sure this vinyl's all nice and stuck down as much as possible here. Got our two sides, so I need to do the top and bottom still. Not too worried about this bottom. But as you can see, I've spent a considerable amount of time in prep work for these screen printing streams, which I might just do this as a part of the stream too in the future, just to give people a true nature of what this entails. Start at the top here. Yeah, it's... Screen printing is certainly nice and pretty for the actual stream, though. Once I get things flowing here. But this is good. I mean, what I normally do is this is sitting in front of a computer watching other streams sort of a thing normally. See how many marring marks and stuff I've already made in this. Just pulling those pieces of tape off here, and so I mean that's part of the whole thing here, is sitting here and being careful and fussing. Again, you can see after that one, I now have to correct all those waves out of this. But that's also why I taped this in a fine closed space, is to minimize that. And that's also why I'm not doing large prints. Doing small stuff. All that works so that we could do that. Try and find out a couple of those knife marks I got on the hat here. You got a couple of points there. You can see the sort of dimple-like points that are going on there. Those are all from the knife. Same with the end of the points of this. There's knife points there from me holding them or separating them. The fabric's going to take a lot of that detail out. I mean, this isn't an exact printing method either, but still want to make it as good as possible, because it does get worse with each printing too, because this whole thing is going to get muddied up with ink and probably going to slightly shift here and there, and even with me only doing, I think I'm only doing about 13 things today, but okay. Gonna live with that for now. We're gonna live with that period. Let's take one last look at our other two guys here where we're still fussing over things. Knife handle's looking okay. Knives are looking okay. I've spent all sorts of tape on this thing trying to get these things for flat. I had so much issue getting those guys flat. But they are flat now. So, cool. I'm gonna start with the knives again. And let's see here, let's get these guys out here. Get rid of my trash. Be right back. Okay, how do I want to do these? So these guys, I am doing the sleeve. So I think I'm just going to make a cardboard cutout here so that I can put that up in the sleeve here and use that for my judging stabilization point. So grab some spare cardboard that I got chilling around here. Let's see, how thick is it? Is the flap of this going to be actually wide enough? No. Hey, free advertising for paper towels. Grab a pair of scissors here out of the drawer. Let's go to town here. Hopefully not reveal this address to everyone. Excuse me. There, so I'll just do this, bring it up to the sew point on either corner. So there we got our nice piece that we can judge our corners and all that good jazz on. Cool. Wrinkly and everything. Turn this over so it's on the right side. Make note to self, put them on this side next time. Okay. There we go. Got you there. Let's see. Let's get you over here. Okay. See where we are on side to side here. So we can just take you, oops, one of you at a time here, guys. One of you at a time. And actually, I want as little of this as possible behind it. Maybe as flat as possible behind it. Flat as possible behind it. There we go. So, got my scratch marks in there from before. You can sort of see through there. Alrighty. Let's go for it. Actually, now that I'm... So much anxiety. Do I do this now or not? Need another piece of cardboard here for the next guy, I think. Or am I going to reuse the same one? I'm going to reuse the same one. See if I can't do this all in one fell swoop. Yeah. Just do it. So it's thick too. It's not thin and runny or. And I had that nice big wide screen push, but I think this guy is a much better option. And here we go. Generally want just one nice clean pull here, so me doing 20 swipes here is not proper plan, proper setup. Oops. And yeah, we got a little bit too much on that corner. I was worried about that there. So I'm actually going to take a moment here and try and clean a little bit of that away before I hit that with the heat gun. And second here, I'm going to try and sweep that extra bit of ink back a bit, smooth it out a little. Again, these are issues that proper screen printers don't have. Okay, and over here to the stove, where I will hit it with full high heat here. Double check my temperatures here. I remember this as being harder to cure than it seems to be here. Okay. I was 100 degrees off, so. We're shooting for 295 to 330. 295 is the closer end that I want to be at, because the higher we get, the more likely I'm going to cause damage to the fabric. So usually, I don't know if you guys can see that, we're getting up around 300 there. And that should be cured. That should be tacky. Yeah. It's warm, but it's cured. And so that is set. On to number 2. And it didn't bleed through at all, which is awesome too, but it's really the water-based one that I'm using this cardboard for, which is going to be the hat, the red part. When I did the napkins, that bled through. Or kitchen towels. This one, I don't get as much fussing time with. This has just got to go, because once I put this down on top of this, it's in place. I can't put this down and move it like I did last time. And so, number 2. Getting ink all over my hands now, so wash up time. But if you're looking at that spatula there, that gives you a good example of how thick that stuff is. It'll sit there and hold that like that. And a little bit of the same issue here again. Just going to try and sweep it all back in, down a bit. Smooth out the knife a little bit.
Yo, what's going on?
And over to the heat.
What's going on?
Ooh, and that guy got smoky. That guy got warm. But we are dry. worn the first two. I haven't worn this guy at all. Permanently marking up something that's brand new. It's really cool how clean this is coming out. I mean, that screen is still see-through right now. How long's that been hanging on to me? The sort of cool thing with plastisol and these inks too is you can get them on other parts of the shirt or whatever you're working on, unfortunately. As long as you're not hitting it with the heat, it's going to wash out. May take a couple of washes because the plastisol stuff doesn't work very well with soap and water, but it's going to wash out. And you're not even looking on the right screen. I'm so sorry, guys. Not even showing you this beautiful work that I just did. Huh. So let's pull that guy up off. You can see that peeling away there. Still not great knife point there on this guy, so sort of failed on our knife points, but I'm doing okay so far otherwise. Take you over here. Make sure you guys can see that there. Yeah. Not sure that's the smartest plan to sit there and tap it with my finger. I just out of habit of doing stuff when it's hot. This stuff is probably like napalm when it gets hot. I mean, it's plastic. Maybe not the best plan for doing stuff like that. But okay, I am going to preserve you with a piece of cardboard. so I'm not crushing it. I'm probably going to need more of that later. Okay. So I'm going to take the screen off here now, since I've done the 3 knives for the nice shirts. I'm going to leave the paint and everything there just on it. Just set it on the cardboard. I am going to take the screen thingy back away though. And I need something to wipe all that ink back down onto the board for later. So we don't want to waste all of that. But I do need to clean this, because we're going to use this for the other one too. These plastisol inks are thick enough that a lot of people thin them, and they'll actually use the same cleaner as a thinner. So, but like I said, this stuff smells exactly like Goof Off. It's probably killing me as we speak. I'm letting it sit here and soak in a little bit into the compounds. Break it all down. Seems like this cleaned off much easier last time I did this. Oh, that's it. Just scrub it off. With a scrub we don't care about or don't plan on using ever again. And so we need to go back with our hat now. Oops. Right side up. Or right side down. Equal our size there by hand here. I know, hugely accurate system here. Get the cheat on this one. Don't get the cheat on the next two. Also, I think I'm gonna probably get see if I can't find some clear vinyl for the next time, because that way I can see what I'm actually printing on. That would be pretty awesome. Let's see how those are scaling. Those seem to be pretty good. Pretty good. Okay. Pretty good. Using the shadow to figure out where on there to align things. Since I can't see through that, I don't even know if there is decent... You can find clear vinyl to cut, but... Sure, I can find clear plastic to cut. I don't know if I can find... I don't know if they make vinyl clear. Okay, water-based, we need to go an extra 5 degrees, so we got to go above 300 here for the heat on the red, but need a plastic knife I don't care about. Disposable plastic knife. This stuff is considerably thinner. Runs much easier than the Plastisol ink. So it's going to be much easier. It's going to be much more of a one and done job here. I can't toy with it like I did the last one with the Plastisol, I don't think. Put that there. And so here we go. Let's see how close I got. Oh. Okay. I don't know if this is going to create a reverb. I don't know if I just messed things up there, but that is not a good enough print for me. I need to do that again. I need some more ink over that. The edges aren't great on it now, but it'll do, but I'm sure the next one will probably come out looking a little bit better. So we got you nice and warm now. And I don't know if it came across on there, but that did get flatter as it dried, as a color. Not in love with that print, but trial and error learning. I think we got that one. Wow, that one came out messier than the first one. Not happy with that at all. I don't know. Can you tell from there? I mean, that's really the distance you're going to be looking at it. Got a little seepage on the underside of this panel here now. So I think I'm gonna take a moment here and rub a towel off over this and try and get as much of that off as I can. Gonna live with that there. Anyone who's a professional at screen print is just probably going nuts if they're looking at this at all. Anyone that's had proper professional experience at doing any of this, I know it's completely out of whack, but it's my janky home system. This time I'm actually going to do this proper. I'm going to charge my screen before I drop it. So there we go. We'll get a good charge of ink on our screen. Plop you down. Scrape you off. That's how it's supposed to be done. And, oh, well, you know, we get a much cleaner print that time. That's a much better print that time. Still got a little discoloration from our cut-in marks, but those don't have to be perfect anyways. They're sort of shadow marks anyways. Smoky. Okay, same thing with this guy. I'm going to cut a piece of cardboard for him and just keep him as is, and can come back to him for the other shirts when I'm ready for that. Everyone say hello to my neighbor's dog if you guys hear him howling away. These things get like majorly bound in there, even though the wing, I don't even really need to bother with the wing nuts on these things, because once they get wedged down, they get hooked into the grooves of the nut anyways, and they hold into place without even the wing nut there. And our handle. Going to hope that's enough red ink for all those other shirts. We'll see. We can go back if we need more, but red. Rubine red. Now we need to clean you after we get as much as you off as possible. That didn't work very well last time. Sprayed it down with the nasty stuff again, letting it do its work. Since this is the hardest one to line up, I'm going to start off with the one that I'm closest to being good on, or my nicest print, so that it is best able to be lined up and remain my best print overall. Hey Kev, how you doing? Welcome, welcome. What are you up to this morning? I think that happens to be this guy right here, as far as the shirts that are doing well. Working and lurking, name of my game. Nice, nice. I'm doing a little bit of screen printing, hoping to make a couple of t-shirts here. Do a couple of maybe working shirts. You can see that one's off just a little bit there. But I get to cheat with this one. That one's perfect right there. Yeah, that's sort of the cheating way too. That's the even more cheating way than the way that I'm doing it. They have the heatable vinyl that you can just cut out on the machine. Let's use the same one. I mean, this stuff's so thick it still has the marks from the last time I used a knife in it. I'm bending that knife. Oh, obviously there's some... Oh. Obviously this is separated a little bit. But, like I said before, it's plastisol ink, and so the only thing that smoothing it out is going to do is just make it easier to... Yep. It's more fun and looks better on camera. Okay. Here goes it. Yeah, this is plastisol ink, which is essentially plastic. It's like PET plastic with some sort of medium to it. Makes it spreadable. So there we go. And then over here to the hot side and give this a blast with the hot air gun. Like I said, doing small prints like this, I can do it like this. You don't want to use this method for doing like whole t-shirts or large prints. You don't want to use a heat gun for doing that either. No, it's not. And actually, pretty much all my other inks aren't that done. But I'm gonna add 2 rivets in there. That's the... But now I don't get to cheat anymore. And now I'm probably going to completely mess up these other two trying to line them up. So I started with the cleanest one that I could cheat with. And now I'm going to go with the one that I messed up with the most. That I'm not going to be concerned with. And use this one as a guide for figuring out the next one. Sadly, it's my newest piece of shirt here that's my newest shirt that's coming out looking the worst of the bunch. I cannot see through that at all. This one had tons of bleeding. But this one, this was the first one I did with the reds. And so you can see there's two prints there. I did it once and it was too weak. And so I tried to drop it back down on it immediately. And so I was sort of screwed with it either way. Either I was going to have not enough ink on the shirt, or I went back with it and it ended up being overdone. So I'm sort of cheating here so I can sort of try and see through the screen. I can't see that at all. Sorry if I'm in the view. Yeah, good view of the side of my head there, guys. The heck? Is that really where we're going? Way up there? Okay. Well, I'm going for that. I don't know if I got it right or not. But the thing is the thickness of the ink is actually a value thing. I'm not thinning it out. But if you're buying ink and you're doing tons of ink and you're actually going into screen printing, you want thick ink because you can thin it out. Sort of close. Missed it though. So we'll do a little painting on this guy. What misprint? There we go. Clean that up. Something to do for things I thought it was a good method for doing here on streaming. I thought it would be good content. I thought it would give me my own stuff that I can make my own and give to people that was, you know, something I made, not just, you know, I sent my logo off to what's his name to make it for me. And I thought it was something that, while I'm not looking to get into business with it, I could maybe make a couple of bucks, because streamers all want, you know, their own branded stuff. They want their own stuff to be theirs. And the easiest way to do that is to have something custom made, because you go to, you know, whatever the cheapest t-shirt printer is these days, or sticker maker, and they're going to give you their standard setups. Whereas, you know, you want something on a weird part of a shirt or something like that, I can do that. I'm not going to do 1,000 of them for you, but actually, let's be honest, I'm not going to do 100 of them for you. Oh, I got to heat you up. That's why you're over here. See, that got a little too warm. I don't know if I even... Yeah, I hit you up. Okay. Well, yeah, and that's sort of the thing, is I'm not looking to get into that. I'm not looking to try and make those investments, because I'm not looking to get into it enough where I think I'll earn those investments back. But if someone wants to do a simple one color logo or something like that, I have no problem pumping out, say, 50 or 60 of those. Or if you just want 5 or 10 of something for someone to wear themselves on stream, to have something that makes them look different from everyone else. No, I would assume actually that at that point someone would rather go to a printer that's much larger and then could say, oh, I have this weird setup, but I got 1,000 followers that want one. Because they're not going to come back to Mr. Amateur Screen Printer when it comes to doing a mass order. They wouldn't want that, because they want more reliability. The business that's in it would want. I'm also not going to give people a timeline. I'm going to do it when I feel like it. Absolutely, that's what I'm saying. Is I'd be willing to do it, but I'm not. It's not my business. It's not. It's more, it's something that I'd be willing to do. That's basically, I'm saying I'd be willing to do that sort of stuff in small orders and stuff like that. Primarily, I'm doing this for my own viewers and for myself, and, you know, for the heck of it, for something interesting to do. Don't move. Right there. But, I don't know if you caught the first hour of this stream, Glass. I don't know how long you've been lurking around here, but, I messed up one of my screens this morning, and I spent the better part of an hour just redoing one of the hat screen. There's a lot of prep work that I do to get to even this point. Oh, hey! Right there, and then right there is not where I needed it. So we'll go back and do the same game again here. Pull out our board here. Yeah, it's... But, yeah, the screens are... You might want to take a look and skim through the first hour of the VOD here, because, yeah, I spent a good, at least an hour setting up this red screen. Which, I still have these primed and still sitting here with their ink, the gray and the red, because I'm going to reuse these later on other shirts. I just wanted to do these three by themselves first. And I'm just using a heat gun. You want like even clean heat when it comes to doing proper t-shirts. Like, that's part of the reason that I'm not doing large runs. I mean, I could do 11-inch wide designs for stuff with these frames, but I'm never going to do that using a heat gun, because the heat gun is just not going to give me even enough heat. I'm going to end up burning things. I'm going to end up... They have t-shirt flashers that are like a flat top that are upside down that you can just roll over the top of it and then come back. Not have to worry about burning a shirt. But if you're interested in screen printing, you can also get into... I'm not doing the... wow. UV blocking, which I was talking about earlier. The old school method for doing screen printing is you take your screen, you take your design, and you get your design reverse imaged onto like a projection overlay, so like one of those clear sheet, and you reverse the image so your whites are blacks and your blacks are whites. You take one of these screens and then you paint the entire screen in darkness, so like lock yourself in your bathroom. Not good for stream. You coat the entire screen. You then put your overlay over the top of it, and then you expose it to light on purpose. And then the areas that weren't blocked out by your overlay, you can then spray out, and then you have your screen set like this. Alternatively, what I am doing is printing out, I have 12 by 12 inch pieces of vinyl that I'm cutting in half. And so we got a 6 by 12 inch piece of black vinyl here. And then everything else on this that is clear that you can see on the screen, there is a screen there, but it's also got packing tape blocking anything from going through it. So I very carefully positioned these guys, and I had to redo this one this morning because I didn't position them in the right place. and then I've taped everything down. There's tape on both sides of this in areas along the sides, and the wood here to protect it from the ink. This whole thing's just covered with ink, and cleanup is a whole nother matter. So I'm enjoying it. It's something fun for me to toy out and try, and I'd love to make a few bucks at it if I could, but mostly just creating content and toying around in the kitchen. Okay, got those guys done. Got you done. Yeah. Okay, our shirts are done. So we now have t-shirts. Which I'm putting on, by the way. Not catching on to me disappearing for a minute here. Alright. So how does that look? I was thinking about putting it up here. I'm still thinking that was probably the better choice, but I didn't think that I wasn't comfortable getting it and getting it lined up. That was much easier to do. Cool. So, on to the other shirts here, which I need to switch boards again. Where did my scissors go? Scissors. You figure I'm going to be wearing my apron most of the time over this on top of that. Scraping one scraper off the other scraper. So I got two decent ones out of that, and the third one was an A. So we got our one with the top not so great and the weird sort of line going through the hat. Sadly, that's partly because this was the newest and cleanest one and had that nice fold going down the center of it. So that's ready to go in the wash. This was the one I thought was the best of the bunch. And you're not even looking at what I'm doing here. There we go. This is the one I thought was the best of the bunch. just off of a quick thing. And I didn't put the rivets in there with the black. You're not going to be able to see them on the screen anyways. And this is a sort of one that's in the middle. You got a little scuffage there with that. The handle blade's a little scuffed up too, but alright, shirts. The shirts I think I'm going to try and do in the top corner here. Yeah. It's also beginning. I'm still learning things here. I have no real plans for these shirts. Other than they were relatively cheap test material that I could wear around and not care about wearing around. Stuff for Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Okay, we need to be a little bit more exact with this time. I'm gonna go get a ruler. I'll be right back. Okay. Measuring the black shirts here for the center. Got about a 10-inch side there. How thick was this original guy? Not nearly thick enough. Get rid of the scrap out of the seam. Okay. Try and cut down this seam nice and clean. It'll make measure, and the other side isn't clean at all as far as it's cutting. Then we need about 10 inches here. It's a pretty good corner as it is, so I'm going to leave that. Yeah. Awesome. So we now have a blank for our t-shirts. Grab our first one here. And place that here on the shirt. Gonna match up the top corner of the seam with the top of the cardboard. And the bottom of the armpit with the side of the board too. That way I can get somewhat accurate with my repeats here. Back to the knives. Entire template on the screen and only block what you needed to. Use that to make the process. It makes it a lot more complicated when you're if you watch what involves. I have to take the vinyl and then mask off the entire thing with it filled in as a solid piece of vinyl after it's been cut. Pull the whole vinyl off of the backing, place it carefully on there, and then take the masking off. And so both the masking and the unmasking, in order to do that with the whole image there, it's much, much easier to just break the whole thing down if you're doing multiple colors or making things complicated, which I sort of am here for this image. I'm not really thinking I'm going to do a ton of mixed color stuff. The colors are a pretty big price point here too, with adding more of them in or not. had to redo both of these clips after doing them the first time because I didn't have the screen against the back. I put them in there. Okay. So there we go with that. So that is set there. That is not moving. I thought I had cleaned this. I didn't clean this. It also gets into other things when you're doing a print. Like the first time I did the prints, I did exactly what you were saying. I just printed off the whole thing and blocked off pieces of it. And I had issues where on the hat, I had a red line that seeped through every once in a while because I didn't tape over that exact, the line on this knife here is so close to the bottom of the hat, that bottom corner of the hat, that I couldn't really put tape across it easily to block it off, and I had red ink seep through, and so I had a thin line between, even though this was still filled in, just the cut line from that, the ink seeped through the cut line. So this plastisol, the gray and the brownies are much thicker, much heavier ink. That's because they're the plastisol inks. They're essentially plastic. But it's thick enough that I almost don't want to charge it. The way you're supposed to do printing normally is you charge your image, you lay it down, and then you scrape it clean. With these guys, I just sort of want to put it there and actually scrape it clean as tightly as possible because they're so thick that they just soak up and they'll stick between the screen and the image, whatever you're screening. And that came out much cleaner. It's a little bit lower than I wanted it on the shirt, but well, with the hat'll be okay. That'll be like right up on the corner. Okay. That came out like 10 times better than the knives on this guy. This point was much cleaner. Yeah, I'm very happy with that one. I need somewhere I can set these. These come out really nice. I don't know how many of these I want to. Well, maybe I'll only do a couple of these on these shirts because I don't have a huge amount of plans for all these shirts. I've got, I mean, once I put my image on them, I can't put something else on them. But like this, all this fussing that I'm doing here, you get one of those proper screen print things, the setups for this, which a couple $100, but my issue is the space, not the price. Is you just put the whole shirt on there, wham bam, spin it around, done, 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 done. Takes you a quarter of the time. Let's get this guy out of the risky zone. Let's try doing this the proper way this time, though. I'll charge the plate or the screen. So our knives are nicely coated there. We got a nice finish there. And it's supposed to be just one clean swipe, but a little bit of dark, a little bit of fade out there in the corner. That one came out pretty good too. But I mean, anyone that wants to try and turn this into a business, I mean, the way I'm doing this is not going to be, because I mess up one of these shirts, I mess up one of these shirts. You mess up one of these shirts and you're trying to make a business out of it, you've just lost all your money from that sale. So, got a little bit of fade out in the top corner there. That knife came out pretty nice. Nice clean top cut to that corner. And that one I did on the back of the shirt. Hey! Maybe I should pay closer attention to that. There's so many things that you can just, you have to have everything in line just right. Yeah. Well, I'm actually not that upset about it because I'm gonna end up wearing it around home, and it's actually not that bad of a placement. I mean, it's on back shoulder. It's actually a more common place than where I'm putting it now. That one didn't turn out nearly as nice on the blade there. I'm gonna give that a wipe up here, see if we got stuff sticking there or not. I didn't know Bob Ross did screen printing. Smoking. Got that one a little too warm too. But we'll see how he comes out in the wash. Because you won't even notice that they're burnt right now. That's the other thing with this, is I can burn these right now and you won't really tell that I burned them here on screen. Looks much better for me, but the next time you wash it, what'll happen is this shirt will turn somewhat see-through. Those burnt fibers will wash out. But and this one did get too hot. This is one of those examples of what's probably going to be better if I had a proper screen flasher for flashing them with heat. Okay, Google, what temperature does cotton burn?
Here's what I understood from the website hklaundry.com. Cotton begins to oxidize at a surface temperature of 205 degrees Fahrenheit. Do you want a little more context?
Yes. Yes.
The ignition point for these materials is referred to as the critical surface temperature. Cotton begins to oxidize at a surface temperature of 205 degrees Fahrenheit.
No. So there, we're taking this up to 300 degrees and it starts burning at 205. Why, hello there, Jer Henning. Thank you for that, host / raid. How is everyone doing? Hello, Midget Hedgehog. Hello, everyone. I am doing some sort of chill, relaxed screen printing today. Not a professional at this whatsoever. I am complete amateur, just doing some screen printing for my own work here at home, for my own stream, that sort of thing. Greetings to everyone. Hopefully everyone's having a lovely day. So this is actually a logo that Jer Henning made for me. And doing the knives on this now, or you can see the rest of it here that I did on this shirt earlier. So we got the knives. This one turned out pretty good. I've been sort of wishy-washy with these ones. Getting much nice, thinner, cleaner prints on the t-shirt material compared to either the... This is from, not today, from past streaming, but so this is turning out much thinner and much smoother on this go around. I'm doing a better job of aligning my handles with the knives and doing a little bit better not having lines like that and that show up in there. But and so I'm using both water-based and plastisol. The red for the hat is a water-based. The handles, the brown handles, the gray knives, and the black rivets are all plastisol ink. And to repeat myself for the 500th time today, plastisol ink is essentially just PET plastic, your plastic water bottle plastic, that is in colors and is in a transfer medium of some sort. I'm not quite sure what they use for a medium to make it spreadable. And so what I'm doing now is I'm going to heat it up to around 300 degrees. We don't want to go over that by much because fear of burning our shirts. But that essentially just melts our plastic into the shirt. And so now that is set. That doesn't come off of my hand at all. That's part of the shirt now. I'm going to give it a wash up, but that is good to go. Let's see, we've done 4 of these guys, 1 on the back. How many more do I got here? Welcome back, Jerry. I'm going to save these last 2 for some other project in the future here. And I'm just going to do these 4 that I've got already started. So we'll move on from our gray ink here. I'll be able to clean up the board here now. So I'll just take a spare piece of cardboard that I got hanging out down here. Put that on in between these 2 so I don't have to worry about getting ink anywhere. And I'm just going to scrape as much of this off as I can. So much of this is just clean up and prep, clean up and prep, clean up and prep. Thank you for the follow, Iron Eddie. And yeah, so anyone that doesn't know what I do normally, this is not normally my stream here. I do this every once in a blue moon. This is the second time I'm doing this. I'm hoping to do screen printing about once a month on average, with no real set schedule. And like I said, I'm doing it for contests and giveaways and my own stuff for on stream and that sort of a deal. The main thing that I do here on stream is I cook on stream, hence all of these cameras set up in my kitchen. I do cooking here on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. Made a nice cheesecake here on last Sunday, along with some other yummy things. We still got cheesecake hanging out here. Oh, you can't even see that right now. Still got cheesecake hanging out here. Still got pooses for later too. So that's what I normally do here on stream. What were you drawing earlier, Jer? I didn't catch your dragon last night, unfortunately. Oh, I did a great upside down fig cake right when I started streaming. That came out great. Ooh, I have new toys. I'm getting mail delivered. Yay. Thank you. Hey, well, you know, we can have an unboxing live on stream. You're still probably going to be able to see through that. I have earbuds now. I bought some earbuds so that I can actually hear what's going on here with stream. I know I've been having issues getting my alerts to be all right, the right level and all that goodness, but I'm not going to get these hooked up right now while I'm on stream, so I'm just going to finish. The goal there is a stand mixer for my home. That brand of stand mixer is a Swiss brand. In competition with KitchenAid. It's about $600 or $700 by itself, but I also want to do. I'm going to end up getting the sausage attachments and the mixer attachments. All the other attachments in there add up to at least as much, if not more. So that's, and I like it better for streaming because you can see through the top of it nicely. It'd be good for all sorts of. Making all sorts of baked goods and stuff here on stream. Yeah. Fun stuff. Good stuff. Okay. Now that that fun stuff's out of the way here, we'll go back and we'll work on our next board here. And the second one we're going to do is the hats on these. Hats. Nice, vibrant red. And for those who are new to screen printing or don't know what I'm doing here or anything along that line, I am very much an amateur at this, and I am also very much using amateurish tools. There are much better tools for holding your prints in place and your printing item in place. They have full-on racks and stands for holding all these things in place, but I'm just using an old cutting board with a couple of wingnut board holders on it, and the reason I'm doing that is saving space. I have there's a one-bedroom house here, a little small little place, so I don't have room for those sort of things, even though I want to toy around a little bit with screen printing. So I could be much more professional about this. I'm choosing to do it this way. So we got that on there. And so I have to do it with my way of doing this. A little bit more fussing around, both with the fact that I have to sit here and have my cardboard in place, which I'm lining that up with the bottom of the armpit and the seam on the top here. So this is really the biggest obstacle that I have with my setup. If you have one of those nice setups that you can buy, you have your pre-made, already locked in place location for your shirt, and this is already locked in place, like it's never gonna take out of the machine, sort of a thing. Since I get to cheat here, I don't have that screen charged. I'm gonna look and see if I'm close, if I'm far off, and I need to go to the left a little bit. I'm using I say shadow, but the sun shining through rather. What's the opposite of a shadow? To tell where that is on the print. So now we get to the fun part. I start playing with all the ink. And I'm going to charge the image here by running the ink over the top of it. Press it down on our shirt. And then dry it off. One clean print. And a second press through. I'm not trusting that. This one hasn't been going through the screen as well. The thick ones are like, no question, it's through. But that one's a little bit harder to tell if I got that one right. There we go. And yeah, I'm glad I went over that one again, because that one didn't print. That one sort of, you can sort of see through that one a little bit. So there we go. Part of the shirt never rubbing off. Still got to do the handle. Come back for the handle later. So this one, the knife didn't come out nearly as nice on. That was right before most of you guys joined in here. I do have some, what looks like some gray plastisol in other locations here. The good thing about the plastisol is it's just going to wash off where I didn't heat it. So I'm not too worried about having a little smudge of plastisol down here because I didn't use my heat gun down there. This one needs to go to the left a little bit. I think I'm okay there. I think. I'm not getting a very good indication. Yep, that was too far down. Still got to work on my alignment for this. I need a better system for that. And this one I can't wash out because it's the water-based thing, so that one's in there. Warm there. Here's the one I did on the back. But I thought it would be a really cool. I was talking about it earlier. I thought this was the thing that sort of drew me to this was the fact that I can make prints and put them anywhere I want. You know, like you talk to a print shop or even a standard screen printing shop, and they're going to give you setups for their easy ways to handle their shirts. You know, like they got everything set up so they can set up their shirts the same way, do things uniform, and you know, at a costly way for them. The benefit that I have as a small little guy like this is you want something printed in a completely weird place? Let's go. That one's a pretty good one there. A little bit of roughness up in the top corner. The red doesn't show up nearly as well in the black. I was sort of thinking that was going to be a bold color for on black things, because I was thinking I like black things, and so I expect to do a lot of stuff on black. This red is much thinner than I thought it would be. I mean, that didn't quite get hot. That got hot. Not happy with that one. That didn't take hardly at all. It's there, but it's just so dark. Okay, but that concludes our 4 shirts. Now on to our handles for our 4 shirts. Not worried about the plastisol ink. Oh, this is the water-based ink, so yeah, I should probably worry about this one a little bit. Plastisols I don't have to worry about drying out at all. This one I do want to wipe the rim on. Make sure we don't get that cap all gunked up even more than it is already, because this one will dry out a bit. I've got cleaner here for the plastisol removal. So you need a decent cleaning chemical here to get at the plastisol and remove that. And unfortunately, it does seem to affect the other plastic too. So once you go through this with the plastisol and you clean this, I'm gonna have to probably retape this guy. That still needs another cleaning. Plastisol remover smells strikingly like Goof Off. And onto handle. close up our red ink here. Okay, so now we're set with that, we're set with that, set with that, and we're ready to go with these guys once again. Starting in reverse order now. Actually, no, I want to start with the one that I like the best out of the bunch. The one on bottom, of course. The reason that I'm using the one that I like the most here first is because it's going to be easiest to tell where I'm putting this. So I'm assuring myself this guy is hopefully going to turn out nice. The other guy's going to be a little bit more guesswork. There we go. So, like I said, I get the cheat for this one. I can see that other knife blade sticking through there. I can see the very top edge of that knife edge there. So, I should be okay here. And I'm not going to prime this one. I'm just going to push it through. And there we go. Nice clean handle. That you guys didn't see because I changed the view again. Nice clean handle. Set for eternity. Thank you, Midget Hedgehog. Don't know why I'm trying to look at things through my web browser, 20 seconds delayed. The black ones here are much more trial and error and practice and figuring things out and doing that. These guys, I'm gonna wear these guys. I got 3 of these shirts that are like this. I'm happy with 2 of them. The third one, the hat turned out really muddy, but so these I'll wear on stream with for cooking dinner. The black ones are more. Let's figure some of this out. Let's see what I'm doing wrong just through practice. That one turned out okay. A little bit high, but pretty good. I've done much worse. Thank you for the follow, Golden Stuff. So, yeah, I still have a couple of, this is not one of them, this isn't one of the towels that I'm actually using, but I do have a couple of these guys of the nicer prints of these that I did that are hidden away, and so I am going to make a return to the giveaways for regular viewers. I haven't decided on how I'm going to reward it, whether I want to use channel points or whether I want to use some other metric. I got several things keeping track of who is in my room or not. So I haven't decided how I want to go about doing the giveaways, but I do think I will be doing giveaways once again, and maybe I'll give people the options of the shirts that I've done today, or a hand towel, or maybe if they want a different size shirt than the ones that I have here, which are my size, they'll have to probably wait, but I'd be willing to fill that too. So you're going in the wash. I like the channel point system here on Twitch, but I think it gives a bit more reward to subscribers than just people hanging out, and I'm much more interested in rewarding people that are interested in hanging out in my room than the people that are trying to get the impression. So I don't know if I want to do, like, I have my Streamlabs chatbot is keeping track of, it's got a currency running that's just based off of 100% just on viewership. It doesn't take in account posting any. This is the one I did on the back of the shirt, but still a little bit muddy on the handle, a little bit muddy on the top corner there, but. I got laundry to do today. Using channel points does give me that nice little button down there for people to press, but ooh, I don't know if I even want to put a handle on this guy. I might just do some painting with this guy. Let's see if I can't just paint that on. What do I want to use for my painting tonight? Let's use a knife. Because if I paint it, if I do this over the top of that, I'm going to get that handle all over the top of that hat. I think I'm just going to try and sort of hint it in the background there by hand. Actually, let's not take it off here. Let's take it off of the screen. Painting with cardboard. Okay, so I'm living with that. So this one just ended up looking equally artistically as bad all the way across. But so these are gonna be work around house. Don't care what I'm wearing shirts. And then I've got 3 of them like this that I'll be doing as wearing just like this for my normal cooking streams. So now I get tons of cleanup here, but pretty much done with our screen printing for today. Got quite a bit done here. I mean, we got 7 shirts done. Granted, it did take me 3.5 hours, but an hour of that was redoing one of my screens. So if you guys are interested in seeing the full thing here, I mean, I sat here and redid the hat screen from scratch at the beginning of the stream because I had organized it wrong and laid it out in the wrong position. So if you want to see how I build the screens and how I lay all that out, did that early in the beginning of this stream. Let's see who I can pass some love off to here this afternoon. Why don't we go hang out with someone new? We have Chef Lynette out there right now, and she does cooking at home. Let's go hang out with her. She normally does quick streams for lunch and dinner. She'll probably be only working here for another couple minutes. So let's go give her a hello. And I have not introduced myself to her, so don't scare her too much. I think most of you are asleep though, so. Why is that program not working for me for that? Do I have to refresh this page for that to work? Oh, the joys of learning new platforms. There we go. Alright. Thank you all for joining me for screen printing. Thank you all for hanging out with me this morning. I hope you all have a great day. And let's all show Chef Lynette a little love and say hi for me.